section two is about what reframing actually looks like in like a real life situation. So the example that was given to us in the book is about a woman named Ursula Burns. She was offered a job as an executive assistant to one of the top executives at Xerox. While she was offered the job, she felt like it was incredibly beneath her. She was educated, she had been working hard and doing well in the company, and she felt like this was really a step down because she really viewed this executive assistant position as a secretary that was going to get coffee and make copies and just not really the direction that she was looking to go. However, once she accepted the position and she got into it, she realized that she actually got to observe the inner workings of a large corporation at the absolute highest level. She was allowed to sit in on some of the most secretive meetings, the ones that only the top executives are included in. She was a part of email chains that were extremely beneficial for her learning. She was able to really learn the inner workings of the company, through being this assistant. She wasn't ready to be a top executive, and this was really the next best thing for her. So she really reframed her idea of what being an assistant actually was because she originally thought it was that coffee getting, copy making girl that answered the phone. And in reality, it was a high powered, unofficial one on one masterclass in leadership. She could have never gotten or paid for the experience that she learned in that position anywhere else because she was privileged to such um, important information for her to learn about her leadership moving forward. And it helped her tremendously as she went on in life. And while this is a great example, most of us are not working at a big company like Xerox, and we're not going to be working under these big top executives. And so it got me thinking, well, what does reframing look like in my life? Like, where is the time that has happened to me? Like, I have had to reframe my thinking. So I thought back to a couple of years ago when I really, really wanted to take on more leadership responsibility and get out of the classroom. I've been a classroom teacher for 10 years, and I just really felt like I was ready to move on and do something more. I interviewed for a couple of positions outside the classroom, and I had two specific, one a principal and one a central office employee that I interviewed under that told me, you're it, this is great, like let us talk with your principal and things of that nature. And then the job opportunity was squashed. And it turned out that my principal would not give me the reference that I needed to move on. I had great evaluation scores. I worked really hard. I had a lot of leadership positions at the school, but she just said that she didn't feel like I was ready. When I originally was told this, I was furious. I had a terrible attitude. I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't. And that attitude lasted for about a school year. And so then the next summer, my whole purpose and life was to just get out of the classroom and away from my principal because clearly she just absolutely hated me and I just really needed to get away. Um, that was my attitude. And so yet again, another summer came and me getting out of the classroom didn't happen because my principal wouldn't give me the reference that I needed. So then I kind of stopped. I just paused and reflected on, the things that she's told me and how I acted and just things of that nature, and thought, maybe I need to reframe my thinking and I need to see this as what it is. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. And what can I do to get the reference that I'm looking for so that I can do more in my job? And that came this past year, actually. And I really took a step back and I tried to really focus on my leadership and I really tried to grow and learn and listen and make changes and seek help and things of that nature. And it worked. I grew actually as a leader and as a person in general. I grew in my career. definitely as a leader. I was actually put in a different position so that I could grow as a leader. And then I finally, at the end of the year, received her blessing and a great new job that I'm super excited about. Um, but I had to really stop and think, okay, what do I need to do? I have to completely shift my mindset here. This is not getting me anywhere. My anger and my, blaming it on her essentially wasn't getting me anywhere. So by reframing, I was able to move on. Now, connecting reframing to our emotions is also really important. So, both of the examples that I've given you here, Ursula's and my own, were emotional reactions, right? Like our responses to, Ursula's response to the job offer was kind of a slap in the face. She felt like it was just absolutely ridiculous. And my reaction to my principal not letting me go was pure anger and, furiosity. And it got me nowhere, right? And so Bariso actually gives us some self reflection questions so that we can really dive deep into the emotions that we have that are a part of that reframing process. These are just a few. There's several more in the book, but these are the ones I felt like were the most important. Why did I react the way that I did? How does this situation or job fit in the bigger picture? What may I have misunderstood or be getting wrong? And did my reaction help or harm me? I think the last one for me is the biggest. Did my reaction help or harm me? In my case, it harmed me. It did not help me in any way. So reframing my mindset was the best thing that I could do. Um, Engaging in this self reflection really increases our overall self awareness and allows us to have further insight. And the insight allows us to reevaluate ourselves and really reflect on where we are and where we're headed so that we can make those personal changes where they're needed along the way. Okay. Um, so being able to really know where we are and being just really self-aware will help us know, like, understand our emotions better and really be able to just get an overall better understanding in general of our mindset so that we can reframe appropriately for the situation. So now going forward, I want you to stop and think about some reframing possibilities in your life. I want you to take a minute on the next slide